Hello once again and welcome back to the Summoner's Guide to Final Fantasy XIV. Today we are going to be playing the story dungeon in the 3.2 story, the Antitower. It's a fun little dungeon, nothing too complicated, but with a few interesting things to worry about, and the second creepiest boss in the game. The creepiest would be Edda in Antitower Hard, but this one comes close. We'll get to that a little bit later. So the first few pulls in this dungeon are they're kind of broken up between the first few sections, so you really can't make particularly large pulls in this dungeon, which is one of the reasons this dungeon does annoy a lot of people, because you're pretty much gated away from making big pulls. So speedrunning is practically non-existent, at least in the early parts of the dungeon. Later on, you can make bigger pulls. This first section, you're pretty much confined to the pulls as are. Once you kill each group, a teleporter appears at the end, which will take you to the next section of platform. And because the teleporters don't actually appear until you've killed all the enemies on a platform, again, you just simply can't make bigger pulls. You're fixed to whatever is on the platform that you're fighting on. Now this third platform, the River Tamer is going to summon a couple enemies just like he did on the first platform. Once you've taken the River Tamer down a certain amount of HP, he will summon 2 additional enemies. So I usually like to lead him down to the point where he makes the summon, so you get the full pull out. Actually, I think now that I think about it, he summons right before he dies. There you go. I don't think it's possible to kill him before he makes the summon. But as you can see, like so many of the other level 60 dungeons, at this point gear is to the point where none of these encounters are really that much of a challenge. This wasn't a particularly difficult dungeon, even week 1 of its release. Alright, so after these first 3 platforms, we now get to the first boss. Alright. This boss is fairly simple, but has a fun little Easter egg. When he is singing later on, one of the things you'll see on his speech balloon is the lovers, the dreamers, which of course is a reference to the Muppet movie. When you see those little music note bombs, stay away from them. They'll explode in a nice little AoE. Eventually, he's going to turn some people into frogs. Which is why I'm not going into Dreadwort Trance yet, for fear that it's going to be me. There we go. Alright, so, if you get turned into a frog, start running around. Yeah, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. are what the frogs are singing, and that, of course, again, is a reference to the Muppet movie, and specifically the song "The Rainbow Connection." So yeah, when you're a frog, run around to avoid all of the AoEs that are going to be dropping on you. If you're not a frog, kill the Frogo choir toads. And it's not easy being green, which is another Kermit the Frog reference. Thank you very much. As a lifelong Muppets fan, I do appreciate that boss fight. But again, not terribly challenging. Just stay away from the music note bombs. If you're a frog, keep moving. If you're not a frog, kill the ads to end the frog effect. Now this next section, you can see bigger pulls. Because you're not quite as locked out until you get to certain points of the dungeon, like right here. So now's where you can start doing the bigger pulls and your bigger AoE effects. Also note that a couple more fire homunculus enemies will come out when the Spriggans go down, so be prepared for that. This is going to happen again later on in the same dungeon. And again, you can, and we probably will, make a big pull down to the next Spriggan. Or not. That's fine. I will gladly take this group down here. Well, at least that'll make this pull a little less cumbersome. Again, those homunculus enemies will be coming out as you whittle down the Spriggan, so be prepared for that. And when he goes down, we should be seeing 2 more of them. And also, in this particular pull, that statue in the middle will also, yeah, there he goes. He summoned the other 2, and the statue in the middle wakes up. I'm going to wait for the, yeah, I think this is about the best we're going to get on this pull. Okay, I'm hitting them all from here. There we go. I'm going to refresh my ether flow stacks because we're about to get into the second boss. So the first boss is a shout out to all the Muppet fans. This one is a shout out to all the David Bowie fans out there. I can't say that I'm a particular David Bowie myself, but I at least know this reference. Ziggy, who doesn't have, in fact, have a attack called Stardust. Now this is a pretty mechanic-heavy fight, but due to gear, we may not see all the mechanics really being truly handled. We'll go with what we got here. The key thing that you're going to have to worry about as a caster is when the Stardust appears. There are going to be 3 separate Stardust ads that are going to have to be killed as quickly as possible. They will basically have those growing AoEs that will stop growing once you whittle down their HP. So the quicker you kill them, the more of the arena you have to work with. Ziggy is then going to target a specific enemy and tether. That whoever is tethered to Ziggy needs to line of sight one of those boulders so that the boulder blocks the attack. When there's only one left, he'll use Gyrating Glare to destroy the last one, then Jittering Glare, and then they'll start the pattern all over again by summoning more Stardust ads. Now at this point, you just basically repeat the process and kill any other ads that appear. Normally you'd have to do, or when this first came out, you'd have to do that about 2 or 3 times. As you can see, we didn't really even have to finish it a second time. So, once you're through that second section, head into the door there. This is actually a fair... despite not being able to make big pulls in the first section, as you can see, this is not a very long dungeon. We're already in the 3rd section. Now, the 3rd section is mainly these dolls. The Wind-Up Vikings and the Wind-Up Magus to start out with. Oh, good golly, we have lag. And we are making some bigger pulls here. And the centaurs are going to be a little more of an issue for you. Let's let the tank gather everything up, drop it. I can remember when these pulls took forever to complete. Of course, this is another dungeon I haven't run in a while. Most of the level 60 dungeons I'm a little out of practice on, because most of these I haven't even attempted since the release of Stormblood about a little over a year ago. Alright, are we... Okay, we're not. No, yes we are. Now, more enemies are going to spawn as this particular pull continues, so you're not going to get everything all at once. As a result, I'm going to hold off on going into Dreadworm Trance until I whittle down this first wave of enemies. As you can see, more of these dolls are showing up. Oh, I didn't even go into trance. Shoot. That was a mistake on my part. But at least now I have trance ready. Alright, I'm just gonna manually put the dots on the centaurs, simply because I kind of want to keep all of my stacks ready for the boss fight that's coming up immediately after I'm done killing these centaurs. Alrighty, here we go. Yeah, the creepy dolls. Here we go. Yeah, creepy dolls. Alright, get into the arena, summoner 2-step style. Alright, so, the key with these guys is they really don't follow any sort of threat table. They just kind of run around the room and shoot out these AoEs. So you just need to kill them. Ooh, I need to repair my gear. Well, I'll have enough for this fight, but yeah, definitely need to repair that when I'm done. That part's easy. Kill 6 dolls, they go down quickly, not hard to dodge. Now life gets a little more interesting, as they'll form up into the infamous Calcabrina. Try to stay behind it, especially when you see that one character marked with an eyeball. Stay away from that character. Now, what you're going to watch for here is brace. When she braces, you need to get into her front quadrant. Then quickly get this off before she uses the dollhouse. When she uses dollhouse, she's going to turn 2 players into dolls. Either the 2 DPS or the tank and the healer. These 2 dolls need to be killed in order to release the players trapped in them. Right now, I can't do anything, because I'm trapped inside the doll. She's going to continue doing that slapstick attack, which is a room-wide AoE, for a while. Now she'll go back to her normal rotation. And basically at this point, it's just continue to repeat. When you do have the eyeball, look away. And again, normally when this first came out, you go through that rotation 2 or 3 times before you would clear this. And basically, whoever got dolled in the first dollhouse phase, the other 2 players would get dolled in the second one. And then after that, it was pretty much random whoever would get dolled. But again, here being what it is, you'll probably only see 1 dollhouse phase. So, really what you gotta remember, kill dolls. They're quick and easy to kill. Ooh, I got a Dravanian robe of casting. I wonder how that looks. So yeah, kill dolls as quickly as you can. When you get, when she braces, get into her front. Otherwise, she's just gonna bounce every attack back at you. Try to get your best attacks off before dollhouse, just in case you get dolled. If you don't get dolled, kill the dolls ASAP. And that's really all you need to know for that, boss. Now story is happening, so I better cut it off. Next time we're going to start on the 3.3 content. 2 new dungeons, a new trial, and a new 24-man. So we will see you then, and until then, have a wonderful day.